Hi again, 7th graders. We are now going to do a word problem involving complementary angles. So the first video we went over how to make a visual representation with supplementary angles, and now we're going to do that again with complementary angles. So the measure of a complement, you should think of complementary, and so that means, scoot this up a little bit, that the sum now is 90 degrees because we see this word complement, which means complementary. So the measure of a complement of an angle is 32 degrees more than 3 times the angle. Find the measure of the two angles. So just like I did in the previous problem, I am going to draw a picture. So I can then put this information on the representation so it helps me to make sense of what is being asked. So I know that I have to draw a 90-degree angle. So 90 degrees, remember 90 degrees is when the two rays are perpendicular to each other. Perpendicular means they form this right angle, this 90-degree angle here. And so again, I have no idea what the measures of the two angles are, so the visual representation does not have to be drawn to scale, so I can just make the angle measures, the angles any size. I'm just going to go like this. And so I have my two angles. I'm going to label this angle 1 and angle 2. So let's see. The measure of a complement of an angle is 32 degrees more than 3 times the angle. Well, I don't know what that first angle measures, so I'm going to label that with x. That unknown value, I'm going to use that variable to represent that. The measure of its complement, which would be this angle right here, angle 2, this is the complement, is 32 degrees more than 3 times the angle. So 32 degrees more than, so more than means that we are adding on 32 degrees, and then 3 times the angle. So I'm going to take this angle measure and multiply it by 3. So I have 3x plus 32 as one of the angle measures, and then the other angle measure is just x. So I know from my algebraic equation that angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to now 90 degrees, because we're talking about complementary angles. Angle 1, we have that unknown value of x, that unknown measure. Angle 2, we're going to use this expression, 3x plus 32. That equals 90. So now I'm going to combine like terms, and this leaves us with 4x plus 32 is equal to 90. And then I'm just going to solve that equation. (90 minus 32 is 58. And now I'm going to divide both sides by 4, and I'm left with x, which is equal to, we got 14.5. So this tells me the measure of angle 1, because we just used x to represent that angle measure, and now we know that x is 14.5. So this is 14.5 degrees, and I have to substitute that value of x into this expression to find the measure of angle 2. Remember that you can use a calculator. 14.5 times 3 is 43.5, and then 32 degrees more than that. I'm going to add 32, and I get 75.5 degrees. Let's double check that if I add these two angle measures, then I am in fact going to get 90 degrees. So 75.5 degrees plus 14.5. And I do in fact get 90 degrees. So I can label angle 2 as 75.5 degrees. So we have figured out the measure of angle 1 and the measure of angle 2. Lastly, I'm just going to write the measure of angle 1 is equal to 14.5 degrees. The measure of angle 2 is 75.5 degrees. And if you notice, my picture was not at all drawn to scale because I had no idea what those angle measures were. This angle right here, if I used a protractor to measure it, would definitely be larger than 14.5 degrees. And this angle is smaller than 75.5 degrees. So your picture does not have to be drawn to scale. That is just to help you visualize the information that is given to you in the word problem. So that sums up our word problem on complementary angles. We've done one on supplementary and complementary now. Please let us know if you have any questions. Good luck with this.